I think we're all desperate to try and envision that if we get on the drugs and if we do this and if we do that, we will get the body of our dreams. And it's just not the case. Okay, look, before we get into this, let's address a couple of things, otherwise the comments are going to go nuts. I know More Plates for Dates, Greg Doucette, have already done a video like this, and thankfully I haven't watched any of those videos, but I sure will after this. But I'm going to assume that they were quite adamant in their comments and their opinions, hence why I think quite a lot of people, for me at least, got in touch and said, Simon, what do you think about Chris Bumstead and this picture when he was 18-year-old? And the other thing I want to mention is, no, we're not going to start doing Natty or Not to this channel. It's just not an area that I've ever been involved with. I think if we're all being honest with ourselves, when we do first start going to the gym, it's something you go and read about and educate yourself on, which you should do in anything in life. You should always put the information in your brain, but it's just not for me. It's not my bag, baby. For example, have I ever smoked a cigarette? Nope. Have I ever smoked weed? Nope. I'm a massive nerd. I'm a massive geek. I made peace with it a long time ago. But in case you haven't seen, yes, Chris Bumstead, who is just, you know, the Mr Olympia extraordinaire right now, absolutely smashing competitions from absolutely nowhere. He posted this picture, boom, it comes up on the screen right now, from when he was 18 years old. And as you can imagine, everybody lost their mind when he followed it up with, hey, here's a picture of when I'm natural. So let's start in the best place, the start. No, now that he is entering IFBB post shows, he is not natural. This is not me guessing. This is not my opinion. You can find interviews with him and his trainer where they tell you the kind of stuff he takes. Like, not specifics, but they say, look down the camera and they say he takes this drug, he takes that drug. And you know what? Good for him. I mean it. Good for him. Who is anybody to judge anybody else for taking anything? If you think somebody you know is in trouble of damaging their health, then that's a completely different scenario. But it's your body, it's your life. If you want to inject or you want to take anything, more power to you, man. And I mean that. I ain't going to judge you. I hope you're not like $1,000,000. I hope that when I see you, like, my clothes just fall off because I'm so attracted to your ass. But it's not about that. I think most people know that. I think most people respect that. Again, we go back to this picture when he was 18 years old. It's kind of nuts because somebody asked him to post a picture of when he was natural. He does, and they go, well, that's not true. So what is even the point? It's why I never talk about it on my channel. I never do. There's no point. Greg Doucette, bless his heart, I love him for it, made a video about me doing a natty, not on me. He said I'm natty. That day, I got a bunch of people going, well, you still pretty ass. Come on. Come on. I don't look like... Oh, I'm not even going to get into it. It's a waste of all of our time. I think the reason... We go back to the 2-point system. The reasons that lots of people want to debate this is, one, they think he has a little bit of gyno, which, if you don't know, is when your estrogen levels are too high, and so you essentially start growing breasts. I mean, that's a very basic version of it. And in this picture, it looks like his nipples are a little bit puffy, but it could be lighting. It could be one of 1,000 things. I don't know. Maybe he had it, maybe he got it cut out, but I do not think that is the ultimate way to determine whether or not he's natural. The reason I believe it is because there's no reason for him to lie. You could type it into Google right now and find a bunch of interviews of a bunch of everything else where he talks about the stuff that he's taken.
What's a typical recycle for you now?
Chris, in the off-season, if he's doing more than 500 milligrams of test by itself, that's an aggressive off-season.
Really? Wow.
So why would he then retroactively go back, but this one is it's a waste of his life. It's a waste of his time. And also, how the hell do you think he looks like he looks at? This is why I really wanted to make this video. And Gerald, who's also clean, he don't take anything. I think we're all desperate to try and envision that if we get on the drugs and if we do this and if we do that, we will get the body of our dreams. And it's just not the case. It's just not true. Like, it just isn't. That's not how it works. The reason, like, if I went and took exactly the same stuff as Chris Bumstead is taking, and all I know is that when from this picture to this picture, which is his first ever Olympia, he took Anavar. You can see a difference, right? You can see a difference. If he was going to step on a stage, an 18-year-old is not going to be up to snuff, but here it's going to be up to snuff. But yeah, if we took exactly the same stuff, I am not going to look like Chris Bumstead. Chris Bumstead has terrific genetics. Chris Bumstead was born to just look amazing. It's just true. It's just the facts. And look, is that annoying? Of course it's annoying. Is that going to wind you up? Of course it's going to wind you up. But unfortunately, it's just the truth. It's called genetics, and you can't mention genetics on any kind of fitness video because everybody melts down. And that's, again, because you don't want to believe that is true, because it means you have a ceiling even if you do take all the drugs in the world. I am walking proof of this. Look at my hair. You know why I have no hair? Some people are going, because he took a bunch of drugs. No, because my dad has no hair. My brother has no hair. My granddad has no hair. And his granddad, his dad, none of us have any hair. It's in our genetics. So when we get to our mid to late 20s, all of a sudden Mother Nature goes, and it makes our hair fall out, and it's horrible, and it's awful, and I fought it, and I fought it, and I fought it, and I didn't want it to happen, and then eventually you just go, well, it's not the end of the world, you shave it, and you grow accustomed to it, and you move on. And that's what I think, me ranting and raving like this isn't going to change anything, but that's what I think we have to do in our normal lives when it comes to things like this. Some people are just born better at certain things, and it's the worst thing ever. Like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a football player. Soccer, comments going crazy. But I wanted to be a football player. I was so desperate that I used to play on this meadow just down from my house. That makes it sound far more grandiose than it was. For starters, it was on a massive hill, so you kick the ball and it'd roll back down anyway. But I was so desperate and I believed in it so much that even when I was like, 15, 16 years old, way past the point that, you have to be very lucky to be signed to be a professional football player at that age, I thought a manager would just drive by and go, he's good, take him. Worse than that, I was terrible. But you're a kid and you have these stupid ideas. And that is what people are doing now, even if it's in a more mature, or not even a more mature way, but a more adult way. You want to be able to look at not just Chris Bumstead, but you want to, like Greg Doucette is another great example. Because Greg Doucette all the time tells you everything he's taken in the past, and he tells you right now he's on HRT. People go, no, he's on more stuff than that. Let's say that he is, and he's not. I totally believe him. I just want to make it clear. But let's just say that he is. Stop wasting your time trying to figure out why you don't look like a certain person, and why don't you take that energy and use it to figure out how you can get in the best shape you possibly can be. Because you're still going to enjoy the ride, you're still going to enjoy going to the gym, even if you are walking around at, 200 pounds and you've got 8% body fat, people are going to look at you and go, well, that guy looks pretty good. I know dependent on your height. If you're an average dude and you're super lean and you've got a bit of muscle on you, people are going to be impressed. But these weird things happen when you get into lifting weights. You kind of open this magical door. So you go from AC Slater in Saved by the Bell, right? When you're a kid, this is great. You see AC Slater from Saved by the Bell. You think, wow. And then 5 years later, you look at AC Slater and you go, what was I even talking about? But there's no middle ground. You go from AC Slater to Ronnie Coleman. And these are two completely different stratospheres of going to the gym and bodies and physiques. And you just have to be happy with what you've got. I'd love to be bigger and I'd love to be more ripped. And we have certain tools at our disposal that we can use to achieve that, but everybody is going to have a ceiling. Not everybody can look like anybody else, because if that is the case, everybody would just go to the gym and they'd be massive and jacked, which is why when people go, oh, Simon, I want to go to the gym, but I don't want to be as big as you. You're like, all right, that's just an insult. You're making it out like it's really easy to get that big. I don't want to be as big as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, that's even worse. Do you know how much I want to be as big as Arnold Schwarzenegger? I'd kill a man. For the record, I would not kill a man. I don't want to go to jail, but I'd kill a man. So that's my major point with all of this. And you get it all the time. If I ever do a video on anyone that looks in shape, even the actor, I can't remember his name now, from Boy Meets World that we did earlier in the week. Some people say, oh, he must have done steroids. Are you flipping kidding me? The dude lost 300 pounds and he put some muscle on his body. And look, maybe he did do them, but it's not the definitive way to get anywhere. It's just not. That's just how I see it. And I admit I'm not the most educated person on this because I've never been in that world. So I totally agree. If you want to go, Millie, you're not allowed an opinion on it, but probably right. But I did it anyway because a lot of people messaged me and I thought I wanted to talk about it. But it's just, even if you did do every single thing in the world and you did it perfectly and you had a doctor watching over your blood work, etc., you're still not going to look like Chris Bumstead. You're not. And I know that breaks your heart. I know it's like when you were a kid and you wanted a Nintendo and you got Sega, or you got Sega and you got Nintendo, and you just wanted to play Mario Kart, but instead you're playing stinking Sonic. Nobody secretly likes Sonic. There's no game there. You just collect coins. Bling. But it's a fact. And it's true. And the best thing you can do is get rid of that negative energy. I know I sound like some kind of, voodoo master, but get rid of the negative energy, turn it into positive energy and think, well, what can I achieve? What do you want to achieve? You want to put on 3 pounds of muscle this year? Go for it. You want to drop your body fat down to 8%? Go for it. You want to get your strengths up by, 20, 30 kilograms? Go for it. Do that. Obviously, it's better when you hit your goals. It's not always essential as long as you enjoyed the ride. Like, you hear that all the time. So what we got to do is we got to stop getting lost in what everybody else is doing, and we got to start focusing on ourselves. Chris Bumstead, to me, is an inspiration. He's a motivator. Absolutely incredible. Looks like $1 million. His career is just going to get better and better. Also seems like a nice guy. I've watched a lot of his videos. He was making pancakes in one. I thought I could fall asleep listening to you, Chris Bumstead. You have a very relaxed way about you. But do not worry whether he's natty or not. Like, he's not now, but I'm 99.87% sure he was in that picture because he said he was. That's like me showing you a picture when I had hair and going, it was yesterday. What a waste of my time. There we go. A very rare one on the channel here, but I thought it'd be quite fun to talk about it, and I did rant and rave, so I did enjoy it. Now, like the video, share the video, hit the subscribe button, get in that description. There's a bunch of stuff you can do. Essentially, type @SimonMiller316 into Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, or merchandise, just Simon Miller on Big Cartel there, and you'll get some stuff that you can help support the channel. Another video right there. They're the two things I'd like you to do is subscribe and click another video. That's all I ask. All I ask, you make me a very happy man. Otherwise, if you are going to the gym today, kick some ass. Whether you're at home or whether you're going to work, I was going to say. Maybe you work in a gym. Whether you're working at home, you're working at the gym, do what you can do, man, or girl, or woman, or child, or goat, whatever you are. I believe in you.